When you get right down to it, when you get right down to it, yeah. When you get right down to it, oh, you're beautiful. I don't mind the world knowing about you. You're beautiful, and I don't care what the magazines say. I don't care what the magazines say. Yeah. You're beautiful, simply beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're beautiful.
You sure looking good tonight, baby.
Oh, baby.
I just wanna make sweet love to you tonight, baby.
Come on.
If you don't mind,
Whoa, whoa.
let me tell you.
Hey there, sexy lady of my dreams. Can I have you here with me? I just wanna love you down. Yeah. I'm making you scream my name. Oh, loving your body. I'll be kissing your body. And I'll be caressing your body. Oh, baby, just come on. Loving your body. I'll be loving, feeling your body. And I'm gonna touching your body all night, baby. Now I'm about to fulfill your fantasy. So come a little closer, bring your body to me. I'm trying to take my time, I won't rush at all. 'Cause you deserve the best. I'm gonna love, I'm gonna kissing your body until the morning comes. Oh, baby, just come on, and let me feel your body. And I just wanna touching your body. If you don't mind, baby, let me love your body. I just wanna kissing your body. Don't stop me, baby. Kissing your body. Oh, baby, come on, and let me feel your body. Please, baby, touching your body. Baby. La la la. Oh, baby.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the In the Zone podcast. It's your band, B. Foster. Brian Foster's in the building on this lovely Wednesday evening. First and foremost, was that like justice? Was that like, positive door yesterday? I barely recognized it. I didn't understand that cops could get sent to jail for the shit they do to us. So first and foremost, shout out to the Minnesota court systems and that jury for doing what was right. We appreciate you all. It's only one step though, people, but we're gonna revel in this for a hot second and feel what justice rain downs on us. Also, speaking of rain, Purple Rain Wednesdays. This is the anniversary of my favorite artist ever, Prince, his death. R.I.P. again, Purple One. You little short, dancing, sexy munchkin. Appreciated you for all the joy you brought into my life. Love you, brother. Hey, y'all, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. We are talking about marriage. All the shit they didn't tell you before you get married. And I got I got two couples joining me and then a very special guest, co-hostess, that is going to be jumping in as well. I'm by myself in the studio. I'm about to let y'all see that. I'm all by myself. This is unique. It's been a little bit, so I'm lonely. Y'all keep me company. Let me unmute everybody. What's going on, y'all? Let me hear you. Everybody good?
Good evening.
Hello?
Hold on, I can't hear you. Gwen, say something. You got him hurt. There you go. Gwen, can I? All right. Carla.
Good evening.
Oh, there we go. All right. We got us. The booth got me. The booth has got me. What's going on, everybody?
What's up? What's up?
Hey. So hold on. Let me make sure I got everybody's last names. I don't want to know about nobody's husband beating up on me because all these women use their damn maiden names. Oh, wait a minute. The Scots used it. All right, Carla, you in check. That's what the hell I'm talking about. You get your life right. First, let me introduce Carla and Dark Scott. What's going on, y'all?
Good evening. How you guys doing?
We good. Good to see you.
You as well.
And then we have Gwyneth and Carl, Mar. Haven't seen you all since my very first episode. What's happening, y'all?
How are you?
Hanging in there.
I'm good. How's that weather out there?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's, 85 today?
Yeah, shut up. I didn't really know. I didn't care.
Everybody's golfing.
And then my special co-hostess joining me for the very first time on the In the Zone podcast, my lovely, my intelligent, my talented, my everything, my better half, Dr. Allison Foster. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. I've been waiting for an invitation. You've had like 100 shows, and I was starting to try to wonder who I was going to have to sleep with to get on the show. So
it's me. I'm the one you have to sleep with.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. So I want to listen. I've been wanting to do this one for a minute. I talked to a few other couples, and everybody was acting all scary. Yeah, we don't want to be on TV talking. So I'm glad you all are not punks and are willing to have some frank and open and honest conversations just about marriage. And I don't know why everybody's so scared. These should be conversations we're having with each other anyway. So it is what it is. Right, baby? We gonna tell them all the dirt today, right?
We'll tell them some of the dirt, but not all.
All right. Well, you can tell them all my dirt. I don't care. Shit. Matter to me.
You probably know it already anyway.
That's probably
I was going
true.
to say, everybody knows already, babe. So you're an open book.
I'm an open book. That is more than accurate. But let's start it off. Let's start off sweet. Gwen and Carl, we kind of had this on the first episode, but a lot of folks probably are watching that weren't watching then. So tell me your story. How'd you meet? How'd you propose? All that good stuff. I want to hear it again.
So we actually met online. We met
on Grindr, right? It was Grindr?
Yeah, Grindr.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. No, we met on this. Well, it's probably not much better, but it's Zoosk. It's yeah. We can just leave it there. But we I put in all my criteria because we women, we have criteria. So I put it all in and I matched with one person. The man.
One person.
Right.
One person.
One person.
Mm.
One person.
That's some specific ass criteria. Did you put in this social security number? I mean,
well, the selection was very slim on Zeus, let me tell you.
okay.
So
I was lucky is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. No. And then anyway, so we talked for a couple weeks and he made reservations at a restaurant and set up the date. And the first day was 8.5 hours. The rest is history.
8.5 hours.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
8.5 hours. We closed the place down, not because we were trash, but because the manager was like, I need to go home. So he sent us on our way. And that was a Thursday. We hung out Saturday and Sunday. And we've been together 5.5 years.
Yeah.
5.5 years. Married how long?
3.5.
3.5.
That's what's up. So Gwen, how did you propose?
I did not propose, but Carl did.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl. How did you propose? My bad.
I see what you tried to do there, Brian. You're gonna start some shit already. I see.
So we actually took a trip to the Dominican Republic. And first of all, Gwen likes to take pictures anytime there's a camera in front of her. So that was easy to set up. So there's a photographer there. Said, hey, Gwen, let's take some pictures out on the beach. So we went out on the beach in front of the water, took some pictures, and then I surprised her and proposed there.
Nice.
And it was all on
Nice.
camera.
Picturesque. I'm sure those are some valued photos.
Yes.
All right, that's what's up. The Scotts, give me your story.
Well, we used to work together at Southwest Airlines, and
Oh shit! Work husband.
I was going out of town. Okay, I was late for my flight, and I needed a ride, on the airfield, but not the legitimate way. So I asked him, like, "Hey, can you give me a ride to my gate? My plane's getting ready to leave." So from there, that kind of it kicked off with that. Then we just kind of started talking.
Wait. What were the stipulations for this ride? Was he like, you got to take me to dinner? I mean, what?
Really?
I asked you for your number.
Well, yeah. Okay. So now, like,
I'm
yeah.
about to say, I know D a pimp. I know he didn't just give you no ride for nothing.
No, just keep it real.
Yeah. So he gives me the ride, and I made the flight. I called him afterwards.
Yeah.
And then I guess we kind of just started dating or whatever. I didn't really like him that much, but
Here you go.
you know the wrong season. So then just from there, we just started dating, and then we got to a point where I was like, okay, so now what are we doing? Like, what are we gonna do? And 16 years later in September, here we are.
Nice.
There it is. There it is. So wait, was that the proposal? What we gonna do? He said, I guess we go get married. Shit, I mean, you gonna put it to me like that?
Right.
What are we gonna do? So yeah, we got married. 16 years later.
Hey, 16 years later, can't be mad at that. All right, baby, you tell our story. I'm gonna sit back.
Okay, so you are definitely the storyteller of the relationship, but I'll try my best. So, 2008, I was a young and tender 27, very tender.
It was 2007. It was 2007.
Oh, what did I say?
Oh no, it was 2008. You're right. My bad. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I think you were still married in 2007. I don't know.
Whoa,
2000
yo, whoa. Well, I was still there in 2000.
2008.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, 2008, I was playing in the Zone Sports League. I don't know how many relationships came out of that, but I was playing with my football team, my flag football team, and I noticed it wasn't so much you. It was these two cute little kids, these two little boys who were about 3 and 6, always running along the side of the field. And there was always this guy behind them, and that was you. And I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. Okay. So, I kind of peeped you a little bit, but that was about it. Then next thing I know, one day after a game, you came up to me giving very unsolicited advice on my playing abilities and strategy, which didn't go over very well.
Right.
Strategy, not ability. Strategy. That's different.
Strategy. But, most women don't want unsolicited advice on something athletic from a random guy. So that didn't go over well. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Fast forward, I believe you then found me on the U of I alumni page, which was like this new online web service for the homecoming that was coming up. And you stalked me. And From then, it was history. And here we are 13 years later. You can fill in the gaps if you like.
You know, it's not about us, so I'm gonna leave that right there.
You're a stalker. I didn't know that part of you. Come on. What's up?
Listen, hold on. See, there's I did not stalk her. We met. Okay, so here's the funny part of the story. So we meet that day on the field. I was just telling her that she was better than this girl, and if she just like would stop, bumping and grinding up and down the field with her, she would be killing her. But she didn't, My wife isn't one for unsolicited advice. So her team had after the games, they would always go for lunch. And she played on one of the co-owners, my partner's teams. So he was like, come over, have drinks. And I would always say, nah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I realized she was going to be there. And I was like, well, maybe I'll slide by that day. So I go over there, and I know everybody else pretty much on the team. So I'm giving pounds, and I'm giving hugs to the ladies, whatever. And I get to her, and I'm like, well, you know what? We never officially met. My name is Brian. And I, stick my hand out to shake it. And my boy's then girlfriend, now wife, yells across the table, Nope. She's a good girl. Get the fuck away from her. I'm like, what the fuck? The hate. But Allison won't tell this piece of the story. All that did was intrigue her. That's all that did. And then I did stalk her on the U of I page. That's But tell them how I proposed, baby. You forgot part of the story. Tell them how I proposed.
Oh, okay. Proposal was I was finishing residency, and I had a resident, like a graduation party, so to speak, that like this big thing. And we were by then living together. And we had a big party at our house. So we had our party, all of our family, our close friends are there. We then go to a club afterwards. I forget the name of it, but we go to the club. I think maybe you were having a party that night or
Tantrum.
not.
It was Tantrum.
Okay, Tantrum.
I was not throwing the party, but all those people were there because they knew what was going down.
Okay, so it was full of folks. And next thing I know, Brian gets on the mic, which wasn't that unusual because, Starlight, Star Bright, he likes the attention. So he's on the mic.
It's a lot of shots being fired my way early in the podcast.
No, we're just telling the truth. I thought we were telling our truths. I thought this was what this was about.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, so I don't think too much of it until he starts the whole prelude to the proposal situation. And then by then I'm like, oh, this is so sweet and wonderful. And here we are. We're still together.
So you are a bad storyteller. You left out the whole piece about it was your graduation day from residency, and I threw a whole party earlier in the day. But anyway, never mind. That's not important. That's a whole nother podcast about some other stuff. But anyway, everybody sounds good. I love these stories. But let's get into the meat of the crux of this conversation. Let's jump right into it. Gwen, be honest. Who wears the pants in your relationship?
Me?
Hey, look. What the hell was that pregnant ass pause? He drinking, you looking at him. Let's go.
Shit. Probably. It really depends on the situation, but I would say overall, probably me.
Wait, hold on. Carl, would you agree with that?
No. I would say anything, it's 50-50. She doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to go back to my first phrase of it depends on the situation. I do think that we play off each other's strengths pretty well. And so there are times where he'll take the lead and there'll be other times that I take the lead. But I do think and this we'll probably talk about this in a little bit, but it really is truly a partnership. And so there are like I said, there are times I'll defer to him in his decision making and vice versa.
So you all are going to politically correct me right now and say, we both wear a leg in the pants.
I actually literally said that to him earlier today, like right before we started this. And I said, would you say we each wear a pant leg? And he was like, I don't know. So, And
it's not like we sit around and kind of think about who wears the pants. Shit just gets done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll do it. Sometimes she'll do it. But it will get done. So we work well together.
That we do.
who gives the orders about how they get done though?
Not necessarily orders. We just know.
Okay.
Hey,
Who sets the schedule? Who kind of says this is what we need to do, this is what needs to be done, and
Or
you do this
depends.
and I do that.
It depends. Go ahead.
Gwen don't look like it depends. Gwen look like
No, again, going depends. So like if it's something social, it's all me. If it's something like financial, or he tends to take more of the lead in that case. But like chores and like getting things done around the house, we have like what each of us does, and we do it. Like it's just it's kind of a respect thing. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Y'all are so cute. Scott, who the hell wear the pants in your family? Tell the truth.
Well, here's
I
how
do.
it goes. For the most part, but you know what? He makes me do it when it comes to the girls, and like having to talk to the girls and different situations. You do. Yes, you do. Go get the girls. Talk to the girls. This. Yes, you do.
That's after I've already talked to him.
No, it's not.
No, I think we both share the role. You know,
Yeah, we
it's
do.
okay. You know, I don't look at it who's the dominant part. You know, it's about getting it done and doing it right.
Yep.
And see where it takes us from there.
Boy, y'all.
I mean, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
This better be accurate. Don't be out here fronting for the podcast.
But I will say, like, I will tell you this is a little aside to the pants wearing. I find it sexy as hell when he kind of takes the lead and like is really clear about certain things, because everything is so like it's done together that sometimes when he takes the lead and is like, this is what we're doing, I'm like, okay. So I like it.
Okay.
And I would say, like, sometimes Derek will make a decision, and I'm like, well, dang, can we at least have talked about that? You know, like, you know, I understand where you're coming from, but can we at least have talked about it before it's just done?
So you
Sometimes.
find that less sexy than Gwen does, huh?
Sometimes I have to go back and, you know, things have to be redone sometimes.
Oh, here we go. Now we get into the crux of it.
Right.
So you don't want him to do it because he gonna fuck it up. Is that what you're saying?
Just like, I write stuff down, okay? You know,
Yes.
I might not have the time right, but it's gonna be written down, okay? In some form or fashion. You know who keeps.
I just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if it needs to be done, I just do it.
And you do it your way, brother, and that don't make it wrong just because it's the way you did it.
If I mess it up, I mess up, and we start over. You know, it's about getting to that goal. You know, if you don't try, you never know.
Sometimes.
You know,
Yeah.
but for the most part,
You do make the decisions.
I make the decision. You know, I'm not doing it to be, you know, a jerk or anything like that. You know, I just do it because it's the time and the circumstances. Usually, I'm right there, so I'll try to get it done. But I'm not. You know, if she want to take the role and do something, by all means, she does it. You know, and then I support it. So, you know, we have fun at it, but at the same time, it's about what's the best interest of getting this done, you know, for the family. So
Right.
one of us got to step up and do it. And that's what matters at the end of the day.
I hear that. Baby, who wears the pants in our relationship?
I don't really like these terms. These wouldn't be my choices. I almost feel like I'm on a couples game show. So the right answer would probably be me. Okay, but
Ding, 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 ding.
we both do that though. You do the hell out of that. You do such a good job with that. As long as it's what I want to do, it's okay. And that works. We work. That's
No.
how we work. That's how we'll continue to work.
So don't change.
Don't no. Why? Why would we do that?
Don't get no balls, Brian. Just keep it as it is. It works for us.
I listen to you. I take into consideration your wishes. And there are plenty of things that you take the lead on and take charge of. But I personally, for me and my personality and the way I am, I don't think it would work if I was in a relationship with someone where they made all the decisions. That wouldn't work for me. So you have to know what works, and that's part of the whole like vetting process when you're dating people and figuring out who your person is. You have to mesh well and work together for the greater good of what you guys are trying to accomplish and achieve. So, I think it's all good.
No, very well said. I think now I will readily admit that Allison makes most of the decisions in the crib, and I'm fine with that. Right? Like I'm super laid back, like probably too laid back. So, and things need to get done, and I do them, as she said, you'll do them in Brian time, and Brian time might be later, and it might be now, or it might be never. Who knows with me? And she's more on it than I am. So I am perfectly fine letting her run that show until it's something I really, really care about. And then that's a different kind, then we have a conversation about it. But normally I'm like, baby, what we doing? Cool. And I'm fine with that. I'm not this traditional dude that needs to be making all the decisions and running the show. That's just not how I'm built. Alice is more of a traditional dude. So I'm fine with letting her run with that. Cause I love you, baby.
Love you too.
Nah, we ain't fought yet. Yes, nice. Let's switch it up. And that was really kind of a warm-up question. I think more people today probably sharing responsibilities and roles and decision making than people care to admit. So I was just messing around on this one. But let me ask this. This often comes up. This is frequent. And let me preface this by saying there's really no wrong answer here, right? Like whatever works in your house works in your house. But I am always curious. How do you handle money? Is it one big joint account? Like all the dollars are our dollars? Is it yours and mine, and I pay certain bills and you pay other bills? Is it we put everything in one account and then that pays the bills and what's left over is like ours? Like people do it a variety of ways. And I'm always curious how this works because there's this big thing right now. It ain't right now. It always has been. But particularly on social media right now about if you're going 50-50, he a roommate. And blah, blah, blah this. And if the woman ain't doing this, then she just in your pockets and she a gold digger and all this other nonsense. So I'm just wondering, we got some established couples here. Scott, I'll start with you. How do you handle your finances, without going into too much detail?
No, so we both have, we have a joint account, then I have an account. And he also has another account in another bank. So bills wise, these are the bills that he pays. These are the bills that I pay. We both share money given the girls as far as the kids. We share that responsibility. And then like some of the bigger bills we'll share, but mostly, here are the bills that I have. Here are the bills you have. Here's the money that we have together in the joint account for that. And then I have my account and he has his own account as well. Because we both having our own account. So
yeah. I think everybody should have their own account.
So, but I know that I've seen that some couples will just like get a joint account. They'll come in separately and then just get one joint. But for us, we do both.
Hold on, let me ask this a little bit of a clarification question. You said that you have your bills and he has his bills. Does that mean so mortgage, light bill, whatever that comes out the joint, but like your car note, that's yours? How do you figure out whose bills is whom's?
I mean, we'll share it. I mean, it's like she has access to my account and she'll pay it if something comes up like a car note or anything like that, and she sees it hasn't been paid, she'll go ahead and pay it. And we just share the money. It's not about so much as well, I'm controlling on this end or she's controlling on that end. We just really just work together. You have to, when you deal with your finances, you got to work together. I don't care how you do. You just got to work together. Because the minute you don't, then things going to come up and it creates a whole big problem, down the road. I mean, we've been through that in the beginning before. So, it's understanding where you at financially. And, never hurt to get some financial literacy going. But at the same time, know what each other are at, know your strengths and weaknesses. And then, build off of that when you're talking about the finance. Because I think that kind of ruins anybody's relationship. You know, it's if you don't do it right and be open about it, it's not going to last long. You know, you're going to always have that one big hurdle, you know, that you always face. You know, realistically, we just really share a lot of it, you know, responsibility.
I do have like some credit card, you know, like, so those would be my personal.
Oh,
like,
D, did you know about the credit card debt?
No, dang.
Beat her ass. Beat her ass.
you gotta be real. Sometimes,
Right.
hey,
This is my first I heard about that.
there
He's
are
like, you got a credit card. What the hell?
That's the hurdle I'm talking about.
get those deliveries that I try and hide. So
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
We gonna, baby, how we handle our bills?
So from the very beginning, I think we just went with the joint account kind of method. And people do it so many different ways. But yeah, we do the joint account, joint savings, and all income. However you got that money, I don't care how you got it. It comes into that account.
I don't want your dirty drug money.
Drug money. We'll take it.
I
And
won't
it goes
feed
into the
my
joint
family.
account.
Sorry.
However you made it, no judgment.
in there.
That money comes into the joint account, and we pay all bills just from that. Doesn't matter whose bill or where it came from. If it's a bill, it comes from out of the joint account. We also then pay each other an allowance. So that then funds, we have our personal account. So I don't know what he does with his money or what the balance is in that personal account. Same with me. I might buy a new guitar and it came from my personal account. So that's kind of how we do that. And I think at this stage, I mean, we're so focused at this stage in our lives on like wealth building and trying to leave a legacy for our kids. So we're heavy into the budgeting, right, baby? Heavy into the budgeting. That's me. I'm probably the chief financial officer in the house.
I
But
told y'all
heavy
she
into
wear
the
pants.
I mean, I'll send him a text. I'll check that account. Like, what's this $40 at? Da-da-da.
$40.
So put it back.
Hold on. It'll be
$2.
$4 at Walgreens. I'm like, I bought toothpaste. Damn. Can a nigga brush his teeth? Go ahead, I'm
Every dollar has a job. So anyway, so we do that. We're focused on trying to do all of our retirement and we've got, all of our kind of investment stuff going. But yeah, we do the joint model, and I think that's worked really well. We've made, over the course of our time together, we've made bad financial decisions. We've made good ones. But we've done it together. Whatever's happened, it's been together. We've paid off and eliminated debt together. So I think that's worked really well for us, kind of doing it that way.
Let me tell you why it's worked so well for me. Cause she make more money than me. So it all's goods with me. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing. I'm kidding.
Is that why you were the joint account?
You said what?
Is that why you were pushing for the joint account model?
I didn't marry you for your cooking. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing, baby.
That's right. You cook mostly.
All right. Gwen, Carl, what about you guys?
So we actually have a joint account and then individual accounts. But with us, it's kind of planned that way. So right now we are in the process of hopefully this year selling some property that we have in Chicago. Once that happens, then we'll consolidate everything. So what's happening now is I pay all the household bills and I do the investing while Gwen focuses on her education, paying off her, doctoral and is that all you have left?
Yeah, no, the doctorate's paid off. My doctorate's paid off. The
Doctorate's paid
master's is not. We don't talk about that.
How the hell did that work?
Yeah. We can talk about a financial. We'll talk finances
Another podcast.
That's a whole other period.
Don't use federal loans if you can use a private equity firm who will fund education.
Done.
Yeah.
Understood.
So, yeah, it is planned, and I have to give a massive shout out to Carl because I did come into the marriage with I wouldn't say massive debt, but significant debt with school master's loans and getting a doctorate. So he was like, I'll handle the household while you pay down the debt. And we will be out of debt here probably within the next 4 to 6 months completely, like car, everything, like
Nice.
don't owe anybody a dollar. So that's exciting, but that's because he joined me in that partnership, right? When we became one, we make similar amounts of money. So, we're pretty even there in terms of, knowing what we make and where that money's going. So, but once we, get out of our houses, we will consolidate everything. And honestly, right now I'm going through an eviction case. So my renter in Chicago hasn't paid rent in a year. So we're paying a mortgage and we're paying rent. And so kudos to him because I'm paying down school loans and the mortgage and the HOA fee and all of that. So, yeah.
So let me just say, actually, that should be another topic. Maybe, dealing with like financial issues and wealth building in marriages. We've had similar things. We've got tenants right now who don't pay, but we figured a way around that and contacted some of their family members. So they're paying on their behalf, but because you can't evict them right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I have one of the best eviction lawyers in Chicago if you need one. We are working every last angle. I have a court date in 3 weeks.
Okay.
We'll get that information. We'll definitely get that information. Because I'm ready just to torch the motherfucker.
I'm ready to hire.
Yeah, bet you get out now.
I'm ready to hire some people I know.
Telling you.
Bye.
Telling you. Well, look at everybody handling their money. Well, look at that. I like this. All right. We don't have no controversy. Hold on. Let's get it started right now.
Uh-oh, sex.
You already know.
I knew he was going there.
Gwen knows me. Is intimacy as hard to maintain as rumored when you enter a marriage? How do you keep the fires burning? Or do you just let them motherfuckers die? Gwen, Carl, I'm gonna start with as the newliest of weds. I'm gonna start with you all.
You just have to be diligent. We plan. If you haven't noticed already, we plan a lot of stuff. So like date nights and different things like that, events during the weekends, we definitely make plans to, have our time together. So you have to, for us, at least, it's been about planning and being diligent. And even sometimes when you don't feel like being diligent, you kind of work through that, but it's worked for us.
Yeah, I would say sex happens normally on the weekends or the early parts of the week when we're not tired as hell from work. And we know each other well enough to know like when we go for it. So, yeah.
Well, but intimacy is just not sex.
Agreed. See? Agreed.
So
we date each other still.
Yeah, for me, I'm an introvert, so intimacy is sometimes different for me than it is for her. Intimacy is just having that, that one-on-one time conversation, just us, just kind of talking about whatever, and that's part of intimacy for me.
Yeah.
I did say shit about intimacy. I said get it in the bedroom.
Which is probably why I knew what you were getting at, because I've known you now for about, 17 or 18 years?
No, but they're tied. They're intricately linked. I agree. I'm just talking about
They are.
Okay. So you found you've been married 3.5, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good. Fire's still burning as bright as ever.
Hell yeah. In fact, I think he's sexier now than when I met him. And I'm not just saying that. I know it sounds corny as hell. But yes.
Why is that? Because you're making them go to the gym and eat more vegetables? Is this some control shit, Gwen? I see you in that little tight shirt. I see what you got going on over there, Carl. Like I'm flexing on you. All right. Baby, we're the next up in marriage years. Are the fires burning as bright as ever? As we got some work to do.
I think the fires are burning. I think they're burning.
This is not convincing. God damn.
think the stoke the flame. I think it's happening.
Fuck it, I'm on my way. Fuck it.
So, you know, there's so many things to consider. So this will be marriage year 12 for us. And I think as time goes on, I'm sure that the Scotts will attest to this. There are different waves of your marriage you go through. There are different periods. You know, when we first started out and then had 2 additional kids, right? When we had our youngest 2, things sort of changed. I think they changed more for the wife than the husband. And your focus becomes your kids, and you're exhausted, and there's a lot that goes on. So you know that kind of puts a dip usually into the whole relationship in terms of intimacy or sex. As time goes on and the kids get older and things, then you kind of hit your groove again. But I think with all of it, you have to be intentional, as unsexy as that may sound, but that's sort of what you know, Gwen and Carl were saying. You have to be intentional. You have to plan. You know, we do date night, which date night doesn't always end in anything exciting, but that's our time together where we, you know, watch our TV show or our movie or just spend time together doing whatever. I think in terms of intimacy, I think we've got really good intimacy because we are always in each other's space, and we can do things together without having to do them together. But I think there's probably room to improve in terms of being more intentional, which I think we've been trying to do as of late, which works well for me. And you've been in that gym too, baby. Let's not act like you're not over there with the shoulders and the chest. Right?
I mean,
a little snug, a little young on you.
You know.
Shirt off summer is coming. If y'all see me walking down Michigan Avenue with no shirt on, just know I warned you. I've been working towards this for a minute.
Lord, oh Lord.
No, I agree. I think the key part of that that Gwen and Carl touched on too is it's this intentional time spent. And when people say, you got to make a date night or that sex night or whatever, I was like, all right, that's cute. You've been dating 6 months and it's all it's all fun and games until, somebody's in school or somebody got a new job or you have, a kid or whatever the case may be, life intervenes. And the longer you are together, I think you do have to be a little more intentional and purposeful about how you spend that time. Because you could turn around and it'll be 3 weeks later and life is just taking you separately. And I'm not just talking about sex, it could be anything. So, I think being a little bit more planned and intentional. And I'm gonna be honest, I look forward to date night. Like, I'm like, whoo, I'm at work. Get me some tonight. Tonight. Do a little dance. People at work like, why you so happy today? Date night, motherfucker. So, people might think that's not hot and sexy or whatever. Whatever. I just told my girl this shit today. She's getting married in August. And we were having conversations about oral sex. And she was talking all this oral sex stuff. And I was like, that's cute. Talk to me in 5 years after a couple kids and we'll see where that's at. We'll see where you at with that, girl. But baby, the fires are burning, the embers are burning right here for you, baby. They not going nowhere. You keep on wearing that scarf and them jogging pants. It look good to me. Just so
That's
you know.
right. That's right.
Come to bed with no lingerie. I don't need all that. It's just coming off anyway. All right, Scotts. Where you at?
Okay, so pretty much for us, I'm gonna say for me, yes, the fires are still burning for both of us. But but there are ups and downs, honestly. I mean, there are times when you like yes all the time, and then there's times when you like, not right now, not today, maybe tomorrow, whatever. But I think for us, we just weather the storms. It's just like, you have to keep it interesting. You have to keep it sexy. And it's in different ways because it's not always what you might wear or how you might, or look. We've added, sometimes you got to add some stuff. So we've added.
Hold on. Let's do it. Yeah, tell me about this adding.
Talk slow.
sometimes you gotta add, add some things.
Get my notebook out.
So
What you adding?
add a role play. You can add a role play. You can add some props. Just keep it fun and interesting.
I take it anywhere I can get. No shame in my game.
Brother, you ain't lying.
No.
So hold on, wait. That's a good, and D, I'm gonna let you jump in there, but that's a good point, Carla. Like how we're saying be intentional, have date night. We kept it a little light and fluffy. Let's get a little freaky here. What are you doing to keep it spicy though?
Yeah, you gotta add some things. So, what would you? How you want?
I ain't telling them every day.
Derek's like, I'm a German waiter once a month. Name Hans.
I'll text him, just strike up a conversation, start saying some freaky, whatever. I'll send him a text, send him a picture. You gotta spice it all the time.
Yeah, 16 years. You
send them little pics. Send them pics. You about to get in the shower, take your phone with you. Shoot that video.
I ain't never did that kind of shit.
You're like, wait,
Now,
you
do
ain't
you
never
delete that video, or is that video in the cloud now? Where's that video?
No, there is no video. Let's be clear.
No.
There is.
No. I'm about to be a politician. I can handle videos out.
Find them. They're gonna look for them.
Hey, I got a whole program that'll scrub your whole digital footprint. Trust me, holla at me, D. I got you.
I think one thing that I think is important that it's important to talk about things that you like, right? And it's important to talk about things you might want to add. And so one thing that I appreciate about our sex life, since intimacy is larger than sex, is I like toys. I like to bring things in, and he's good with that, right? And so
let's go. Now we're having a conversation.
We keep it interesting. Go to those sex parties to however old you want to, go. I had a girls' night maybe a year ago. He was like, "Spend all the money. Here's a card." No, I'm teasing, but yeah, you gotta bring some stuff in and keep it kinky. Talk about what you like. Make sure you pleasure the other person, and yeah, have fun. We have fun. So.
See, I just want a sandwich. Can we just get a little sandwich before sex, and then I'm good. I don't need toys. I don't need a French maid's outfit. If you come to bed with a sandwich and a glass of Kool-Aid, I'm turned on. Shit, let's
Allison, please tell us he's lying. I'm not quite sure.
No, he's pretty easy. He's pretty easy. Kick the dog out the bed. Because we've got some dogs in the room that.
I don't know how we became these people, by the way. But we got fucking dogs sleeping in the room in the bed with us and shit. I got half the bed taken off by a big dog. Like, when did I become this person? Because I love my baby and she liked dogs. So that's how I became that person.
Thank you, babe.
But yeah, I think I love to hear this. Keep it hot, keep it spicy, do whatever, and listen, right? Like, listen to what your partner wants and try to make that happen. It might not happen every night. It might not happen every week. Shit, it might not happen every month. But if it happens, I think everybody's happier for it.
And if I could just add one little bit, I would say also keep in mind and don't underestimate the things that, when you talk about like what's your love language, there's certain things that might enhance the mood later or what's going on later based on what has gone on throughout that week. Not so much that it's like, service to get whatever, but it just really helps with the overall picture and attraction. So I think that's really important, keying in more so to what your partner's love language is in particular and really feeding that.
Facts. So, babe, can I give him an example? Or
yes.
Oh, yes. Can I talk about yesterday?
No.
No. Not in detail. Not in
I
detail.
gave you a specific text earlier today.
Not in detail. Not in detail.
You going right into it.
Wait, not in detail. Trust
Okay,
me,
sure.
I'm gonna skirt around
I don't even know where this is going.
Trust me, I'm gonna skirt around it. So,
all right.
My baby's love language is acts of service, right? So yesterday she left the house and she asked me to like change the sheets and wash the sheets or whatever. And that's a 50-50 proposition with me. Shit, actually, it's probably a 30-70 proposition. It's probably more likely not going to happen than it is going to happen. But I washed them, and then she can't, and they were in the dryer, and then I didn't put them on the bed or whatever because I was busy. Shit, I should do. Anyway, so she goes in the bathroom later that night, and I get the stuff out the dryer, and I make the bed. Like I remake the bed. I put the sheets back on the bed or whatever because I don't know why I didn't just go get new sheets. But don't ask me. I'm a man. This is what we do. And then I went downstairs and I worked out. Nothing big, right? Changed some, washed some sheets, changed the linen, got a little lift on. I came upstairs. I was Idris Elba in this mud. And I was like, what did I deserve? What did I do to deserve this special treat? Oh, I changed the sheets. It's that easy, fellas.
The bar is set so low.
That's intentional. She didn't. I'm not gonna tell my secrets. But yeah, it's so. The point is though, really is like knowing your partner and what's gonna turn them on. And sometimes it's not always some sexual stuff. It's whatever their love language is, as Allison said, and speaking it, and that'll get you further than you'll ever imagine. I'm still learning that. After all these years, I'm picking up what you putting down, baby. I'm picking it up. All right, hold on. Let me ask. Hold on. Oh, we still got some time. All right. So let me ask this. What have you learned? Now, everybody has advice when you get married, right? Oh, this, that, and the other. Your uncles, your grandmama, your friends that have been married 2 days, all these other folks, right? What have you learned that they didn't tell you? What have been your biggest struggles that you've had to overcome that you weren't even prepared for when you took those vows? Scott, start with you.
Oh, not prepared for. Let me think. Just not prepared for.
Yeah, I always listen to everybody.
Right. I mean, you're gonna get advice. Well, when you're talking about getting married, people give you all this advice, and you just have to really understand that each person is a human being. Even though you guys are coming together, you're still, two totally different human beings, and you have to talk to one another and communicate on your own level. Understand your own communication. You can't just run with, girl, you do this, or some stuff is. The advice that you're given, it just doesn't even make sense, and it doesn't help you at all. Like, let him make all the decisions, or sometimes I hear some things that are just like, women, we do everything. You can do everything in the marriage. I mean, you have to just make it your own. You can't listen to what everybody else says. And I'll say probably for me, I'm just trying to think of some bad advice that I was given. Probably that. Okay, so Derek had a daughter Derek had a daughter and I had a daughter when we came to this relationship. And so I think you just have to, for yourself, I had to build my own relationship, like with his daughter. And I was told that wasn't going to be easy. That's going to be, and especially the daughter and the mother. She's not going to like you, and you're going to have to deal with all this and all that. But I kind of just disregarded that. I had to make my own way. I built my own relationships with them, and, it's been fine. So I don't care about, she doesn't have to call me stepmom, which she doesn't, and I don't require that of her. But I think you just have to, like I said, take advice that you hear. You got to make it yourself. But I think that was maybe one of the biggest things that I was going to have a problem with, his daughter and her mom, and how was it going to be one family, and it worked. So I think maybe that was probably one of the things that I heard that it wasn't even work.
What does she call you, by the way?
Carla. Call me
Carla.
Carla.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, she's an adult. She's 22, 23. So, but even when she wasn't an adult, she always called me Carla. So.
Same for ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like,
there's different levels of respect, but at the same time, you have to, it's how we communicate. You can get communication from someone, and they may not know the total picture. And when we started out, to me that would have been that was the bad advice stuff.
mm-hmm.
You can't tell me something if you're not in my shoes. It's a difference between giving somebody advice and then giving them some wisdom and some knowledge. So for us, we had to decipher the two and go from there. but both of us had a very strong prayer life. So I think that kind of helped us get through the bad moment, in the beginning. So we just communicate. That's what it's about. We may not like it, but we just communicate with each other.
So after 16 years, Lo, what's been like? And again, you don't have to get too deep into it, but what's been like that the biggest hurdle for you to get over in your relationship? And I'm not talking about a specific argument or anything like that. Just something, a rock, not a pebble. What's been a boulder, not a pebble? What's been that biggest thing that, it might not have been, it might be a pebble. Maybe it wasn't that big of a thing. But, the biggest thing in your relationship you all kind of had to tackle to make you go this long.
Wow.
Because I would say I have a good relationship with my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. That wasn't even a hurdle. I don't even really think. Just still, I think early on we had to build on our communication skills. One of our biggest hurdles was just still learning one another. When we got married, we didn't think we knew each other as well as we do now. Of course, we didn't. But even after dating, you think, this is the love of my life. Yeah, that's good, but it still takes work. Like, it's work.
Every day is a challenge.
Marriage is work. Yeah, every day is a challenge. So if you're willing to just get through it,
And plus, as a couple, we have goals that we set, and we're trying to attain those goals. So that becomes a challenge right there within itself, because we both want to be able to do things that we haven't been able to do before. Yes, we want to leave a legacy for our family. We want to be able to, teach them how to do things the right way. It's when you have a family and 16 years I think it's a decent amount of time, but at the same time, every day can be a struggle, but it's how you attack it. What do you do when this problem comes up? And, it's so many different facets of how you can move along and keep the relationship in a right perspective, and how you just talk to one another. We're not always under it on doing things. Sometimes I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, and she'll step up and she'll do it. A little argument may break out, but at the end of the day, we got to mend those fences and come together as one. I think that's the key to a relationship like this. Is you got to communicate. You got to be prayerful, because you're going to be hit with obstacles day in and day out. That's what makes the relationship strong. And that's, if you can conquer those things, we have a lot of fun with each other. It's not a dull moment in our house, and the things that we do, it rubs off on the kids and they see it, so we're full of joy in the inside, but at the same time, tomorrow something can come up. How do you attack that? Are you going to let it tear you down or build you up? So, I think that's it.
Please, we had a little spat earlier.
Oh, really?
Please, we had a little spat earlier, right?
He's like, wait, did we do?
We had a little spat earlier, right? We was going to the gas station. I'm like, then it was like, well, forget it. I'll just go. So then I left. So we kind of went talking, and I called him back. Okay, so what you want to eat? Because we got this thing that we got to be on. So we got to get our attitude.
Hey, wait. Women apologize in two ways: what you want to eat, or they get in the bed naked and they put their little booty on you. Like that's how y'all apologize. Y'all never say I'm sorry and shit.
Don't be mad.
Allison, what do you think our biggest hurdle has been, and what did you walk into this completely unprepared for?
So, I think I just walked into it not knowing what marriage really would entail and what that meant. It's interesting when you get engaged, all of your little friends are all happy and yay, it's so exciting. And then you have the older couples, the established couples, like, who are your parents' age, and they say marriage is a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. And you're like, why are you being such a downer? And then as time goes on, you realize what they mean. It is work. It's a daily choice. And I think the Scotts said something to that effect, that you're choosing every day to kind of make it work. And and as you know, that doesn't sound so awesome and glamorous, but it's the truth. It really is a daily choice to try to make things better, to understand your partner better. I think for us, communication has been our ongoing, I don't want to say challenge, but just what we continue to work on. And I'll be quite honest, it's probably more me than it is Brian. Brian is pretty easy. And what happens is he won't say anything. And then over time, stuff builds up and then he like snaps, versus every little thing that bothers me, he knows, and I'll let him know. So, that's something that I have to be more aware of. I have to be aware of the words that I use, because words matter. So I'm working on that, trying to, be more mindful of all of that for, taking into account how that might come across. But I think over time, the balance of us being together, we've continued to improve, and we are both committed to being in this unit and being together, and we want to get better with our marriage. So that in itself is great. Kind of to the point that was just talked about with a little spat earlier, and then like, what do you want to eat? Yeah, I think we're at that point now too. We would get in arguments before, and I'm real good at, I don't have to talk to you for days can go by. I'm not talking to you first. You can talk to me first. And then as time goes on, you realize that's really stupid and really silly, especially when you have kids and they're like looking around like, are you not talking, or are you talking to him? That's weird. So, so you try to do better as time goes on. But I think we're at that point now where we could be mad at each other for something that happened like a half hour ago, and then we just can start to move past it. That just recently happened. Here's a funny story. We're in Mexico. We went to Mexico for spring break. I don't even really remember what happened, but something happened.
Oh, I remember, motherfucker.
Oh, okay. You tell the story.
No, go and tell your version. Tell your side of it.
I don't remember it. I just know I walked out of dinner. We're on the resort, so it's not like we were somewhere. But I got up and left, and as soon as I stood up, I was like, "Well, now I'm committed. I have to leave. I can't come back down." So, and I don't. The resort is huge. It's nighttime, so I'm like winding through like trapezes and stairwells and everything to like get back to the resort. I went the wrong way, and I'm thinking the whole time I'm going to run into him on the way back to the room. That's going to be really annoying. But then that next morning, so this is like late at night, the next morning we talked about it and we were over it. Whereas years past, that would have been for me. I'm not talking to you until you apologize with like roses and all kind of sentiment in a song. But that's silly. And that doesn't make, that's all self-serving to me. And I know that I was probably at fault for whatever this was. I don't even remember what it was. It was probably Brian's fault, actually.
Damn, we were almost there. We were this close.
I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, so hard work. I don't want to take up too much time, but just the point of
That's all right. Hey, listen, hold on. Let me real quick. WeCo Wednesdays, that usually follows us. Yes, it's called WeCo Wednesdays. Y'all heard me right. That's my frat though. I love that man. He had a death in the family. So DJ, our prayers to you and yours. Condolences. So no WeCo Wednesdays this week. Condolences to that man. But I say that to say if we go over a little bit too, no problem. Go ahead, Allison. You didn't told the whole 20-minute story.
Yeah, I actually want to hear. I'm curious to hear what Gwen and Carl think about this question.
I haven't even said my piece yet. This is fucked up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, forget it.
I thought I was a co-host, so I was trying to.
No, you trying to speak for the both of ours? It's like the both of ours.
This is both of ours.
Oh, okay, go. I'll circle back. Go ahead, Gwen and Carl.
I have to agree. I think the hard work. That's the thing that like you said. Usually, young people, people that are more your peers than they are your seniors will tell you, or think, why are people saying it's hard work? But as I kind of think about it, hard work isn't a bad thing, because that means you want to improve. That means you want to get better at something. If you didn't work hard at it, then you're okay with the way things are. So yeah, it's hard work, but it's good hard work, because I think we get better. And I can only speak for me from the challenge. I think for me, it was communication, but not so much with it's obviously with Gwen, but the problem wasn't her. The problem was me. So what I'm finding in us being married is I'm uncovering a lot of things that I thought were important to me that hamper our ability to communicate effectively. So that's kind of been a revelation. I'm kind of going through that process and kind of thinking, hey, why am I holding this grudge? Because just like you, I could hold a grudge for at least a half a year.
Woo!
He said half a year.
That's on the low side. That's on the low end.
I could just walk away. I'm good. I'm Gucci. But obviously in a marriage you can't do that. So it's forced me to really think about why I do the things that I do. And I think obviously as we get older, we start to mature and kind of unravel that. But I think for me, that's been the biggest challenge in us being married.
Yeah. So yes to that. And I love you. Man, I love him.
Ooh, somebody get some tonight, Carl. Let's go.
I just appreciate that reflection. So one of the things that people didn't make very clear, right? You hear marriage, you think love, is it love? Is it lust? For me, it was really important. And I realize this now and too late because we already said I do, but I really like Carl for who he is with or without me. And what I mean by that is he, like, who he stands for, how he operates in the world, how he moves through his everyday, his friendships, how he conducts himself, right? And I genuinely love and I really respect him and I like him, right? Because marriage, there are times when you feel totally in love, and then there are times you're like, damn, like I'm struggling right now. Like
I hate you.
Like I know, like I love you, but like, damn, dude, but I like who he is as a person. And I think that is really important. And the other piece that has been a challenge for me is I was a serial dater. I would date multiple people at the same time. I got married at 35, which in some people's eyes is a little bit later in life. And I would run. Like if things got hard, I'd be like, I'm out, right? Like I don't have energy for this. I don't want to do this. Like I'm out. And one of the things I've realized is I have to deal with all of my emotions that come up in the hard work and what those emotions mean and how do I need to work through them and be in this commitment with him, right? He's my person. I'm not going anywhere, but how do I process those emotions without walking away? I'm never going to, I'm not, but that's a mind shift for me. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, these are some great points. Circling back on my end. So this is my second marriage. I was married before. And you would think that you would, and I have, I'm not going to say I haven't, but you would think that you would take lessons from the first one and apply them to the second one and things would be a hell of a lot smoother, right? But, clearly you're not married to the same person. So your relationship has its own issues in the door. And then sometimes you just forget those things that you learned in your first one. These things just go out of your head, especially in the heat of the moment. So it's funny that Allie kind of like owned a piece of our communication because I would say it was me. She said it was her. I think it's me. I think it's I'm just now at this advanced stage of my life. I'm not gonna say how old I am. Fuck y'all. Turning this corner where I think I'm a better communicator, a little more patient, and less angry. Just like little stuff. Just doesn't set me off like it used to. And for me, to be honest, it's always like we would get into these. I don't even know if she knows this, but we would get into these situations, these arguments. And since I've already been divorced, in my head, I'm like, you know what? I don't need this shit. I made it out once. I'll make it out again. And I'll be fine. But, no, I won't. I'd be fucking done. I'd be toast. I'd be nothing. So, but pride, ego, which I have a little bit of, swells up and I had these, these stupid ass thoughts. And then, but that was, forever ago. And now I've gotten past that and I know that, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And she's the best thing that happened to me. And I try to keep that in mind even when she's working my last nerve, because that's just living together. That's just being around somebody so much. That's just being in love, to be frank. And I don't think anybody ever tells you that, right? Like, there's going to be moments where you want to choke the shit out of each other. And if you've never wanted to choke the shit out of your man or woman, you ain't never been in love. I want to say that shit. If you ain't never woke up one day and say, I love the shit out of this mug, just look at them while they sleep like, I love this person. And then the next day woke up and be like, I should smother this motherfucker with a pillow. You have never been in love. I'm just going to put that out there. So, yeah, it's a whole journey. And nobody really, even the people that tell you that, can't really tell you that. You have to experience it. And it sounds like you guys are traversing this road perfectly together, and I love it. Let's flip it. Let's flip that question on its head. And let me make sure I'm saying it right. That's why I get my little notes. What pieces of advice did you get that actually benefited your relationship? And what have been some of the biggest joys about being together? Gwen, Carl, I'm going to start with you on that one.
You first.
Laughter. It was always, people always said, like, make sure you laugh a lot, have fun together. And yes, yes, and yes. Like, we laugh a lot. I probably laugh more than he does. He picks on me because I find myself funnier than he thinks I am. But he's pretty damn funny. He has his one-liners that are just fantastic. So we laugh a lot. We have a lot of fun together. I mean, we're just always up for a new adventure, exploring the world. We don't have kids, so that's a different dynamic too, because we're each other's family. Like, this is it, right? Obviously, we have extended family, but we're the nucleus. So, and I would say, what was the second part of that question? Oh, the biggest joys. Oh man.
Yeah, biggest joys or something somebody told you before you got married that actually was helpful, that actually turned out to be true.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest joys for me is watching Carl continuously step into the greatness that I see in him. He is.
Damn, Gwen, you in love to the mother.
Yeah, I know. No. Sometimes I pinch myself, like, where the hell did the old me go and the new me come from? My friends sometimes say the same thing, but he's just really, he's a really remarkable human, and he jokes around and is like, yeah, I'm the shit. But like, really like seeing that and internalizing it is pretty amazing. And then also, I would say watching him be vulnerable with me has been a big hurdle for us. And so it does bring me joy when we're able to be vulnerable with one another. That has not come naturally for a variety of reasons. And so that's another.
Joy for me. It's interesting because if you can't tell already, Gwen is the extrovert, I'm the introvert. We're like way apart. But over the years, for me, it's been interesting to kind of step into that extrovert world and kind of see where she comes from. Usually when she goes out, she does what I like to say, call all the peopling. So she talks to everybody. I just kind of lay back in the cut and watch, I may say something to one or two people, but that's it. But lately she's been kind of pulling me into those conversations and pulling me out of my shell. So that's been pretty neat to experience that with her, because prior to that, I would have just sat there and watched everybody.
Now, Carl, I'm going to call a slice of bullshit here. When we hung out that time I came to Arizona, you weren't not chatty, bro. Yeah, you weren't like sitting in the cut just quiet.
He may have been buzzed.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was a different scenario. When I had a little bit of bourbon, it's a different scenario. But yeah, I think and just growing with Gwen, we've come a long way together and individually. And it's kind of neat to see, not only how we started, but where this is going. I'm really kind of excited to see how we change as the years go on. I mean, I can see a big change in Gwen and just her personal growth, and that's really cool to see. Yeah, that's what I enjoy.
That's what's up. Scotts, what did you? Now y'all been, I mean, you going on damn near 2 decades. So I don't even know if you remember what anybody told you back in the day. But what little piece of advice did you get that translated and actually worked out for you? And what are some of your biggest joys just in being married?
I actually was gonna say I really don't remember much advice, but I do remember just trying to carve out space for both of us, like for us together. Just we have to do something together. Like I remember being told, just make sure you and your husband are able to do something together. And so that's been one of the things that I have to try and remember. We need to do, like we need to go do something together. Let's go to a movie. Let's go downtown. Let's go, traveling. So, doing something for us. We have 4 girls, three here with us. So it got kind of rocky, not even rocky, but it was like we had 2 kids back to back. So we didn't really have that much time to do something just for us together. But now that our girls are older, we're able to do more things. So we're still remembering, that's something that we remember to do. Just, try and travel. We got to do something together, carve out some time for us. And then I would say one of the joys or something that really just keeps us laughing is, we just love to quote movies. I mean, I don't even know where it comes from. We'll just think of something and we'll just both do it, and then we'll just start cracking up laughing. So it's just keeping that laughter, keeping, things light, funny. That's something that I would say is one of the joys. And like I said, just remembering to do something together as a couple throughout life, throughout the, months, throughout the years has been probably one of the things that I do remember, some advice that I was given.
What would I say?
Yeah.
I think the best advice I was given was don't listen to everybody's advice. Yeah, you have to live your life.
Yeah.
Live my life for somebody else.
Yeah.
They shit fucked up. That means bring it together, make it one. So we just did us. There was really not a script.
No,
we just have to do us. And what I mean by that, just love each other. And like I said, it's not gonna be 100% every day, but just love each other, respect each other, communicate with each other, and say what?
One of your joys, my jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You like your ass ain't funny. Shut up.
Not funny.
I am funny.
Okay. All right, I got your funny.
Carla, I bet you're funny.
Thank you.
She is funny. She seems funny.
Thank you. See?
Funny looking. No, I'll just kidding.
Don't you start.
See, that's their love language. They play fight. That's their love language. I can see it already.
I keep the papers in the trunk of the car. She made a mistake. It's over.
Really?
I'm telling you. It's 16 gonna be a fry. It's gonna be sour. A sour 16 for you.
Yeah. Okay.
I take it.
She don't look convinced in the least.
Mm-hmm.
But
so,
no, we
go ahead, D.
We enjoy each other. I think that's the joy. The joy for us is having the girls and just having fun. It's not gonna be, like I said, every day is not gonna be 100%, but you have to make it that way.
Yep.
And that's what we love about each other.
Yep. I feel that. I'm gonna start this one. I've been pitching it to Allison all night. I'm gonna start this one off. So again, second marriage, I've heard 1,000,001 things from 1,000,001 people, which I frankly don't remember at this point. But I did get one piece of advice that I've carried with me, and I try to implement. I'm not always the best at it, but it still It's one of the few things anybody's ever told me that has really stuck out to me. And it was framed to me as this. So when you're in an argument with your significant other, what's your ultimate goal? What's your end game? And of course, my answer was to win. Right? That's me. I want to win an argument. And they were like, okay, so if you win, your partner loses. So you want your partner to lose? You want your partner to be a loser? You want your partner to feel bad? You want your partner to feel defeated so you can feel better about you? And when said that way, I was like, oh, okay, wow. So then I'm the jerk in this scenario. I get that, right? So the end game shouldn't be for me to win the argument or the debate. The end game should really be us to find a common path, a common denominator, or at least try to, come as close together in this debate as we can to a mutual understanding. And that's tough to do when you're in the middle of something, when you're in the middle of, because I'm a debater. If it wasn't for school, I'd have been a lawyer. I don't like that school shit. But I'd have been a lawyer. I like to debate. I like to win my arguments. I'm competitive that way about the silliest things, much less anything that means something to me. But I got to keep putting that back in my head. Like, well, if I feel great at the end of the conversation and she feels bad, did I really win? So that's the one piece of advice that has always stuck out to me. And I don't always implement it the best, but it's something that I took away, and I hope other people can take away and use it in their own rights. As far as the joys, again, I've got another marriage to compare this to, and this is by no means a shot at my ex. Like, still love her, still great people. We're still good friends. We are the definition of a blended family as far as I'm concerned. We're not perfect, but we do pretty well. But Allison supports me and understands me in a way that nobody ever has. And I've got to always give her the props for that, because I'm not easy. I'm not an easy dude. I don't know if y'all realize this or not. I'm running around, throwing parties and doing podcasts and all this social things, and just being me. Like, I'm a smart ass and blah 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 blah. And I understand that I'm not probably the easiest cat to love, and the fact that she accepts me for who I am and makes me want to be better every day because of how fantastic she is, and I want to live up to who she is. And what she, not expects out of me, but sees in me, the potential that she sees in me, that I want to grow and make that happen every day. And I value that and cherish that more than anything. So anybody that, I'm going to say this to the people out there, anybody that makes you want to level up and up and up and up, that's the person you want to be with. Anybody that's cool with you being stagnant, anybody that's cool with you being less than, anybody that's cool with you not wanting to be better, and whatever it is you want to be better in, I don't know if that's who you want to be with for the rest of your life. So those are my joys. That's what that's what I take away from this, and that's why I love her. Allie?
Oh, okay. So, so a couple things. Piece of it. I just.
Are you breaking my light?
I'm breaking your equipment in here. You're speaking of podcast.
She breaking my. I take it all back. Everything I just said, I take it back.
I think it was already broken, but
no, it was already broken. It was already broken.
Okay, it's done, but we won't worry about that. Anywho, so a piece of advice that I got that was fantastic, and it was from my mom, because she's awesome and has great advice.
She is. She's awesome.
She is. So she told me very early on, she said, one, don't look to your partner for your source of joy. You're not marrying somebody to keep you happy and to keep you joyful. That comes with it, but you need to find your own joy on a daily basis. And I think we've done a really good job, both of us, of accomplishing that.
If you don't stop fucking with that light, just put the light down. Just put the light down.
But I want the shine. I want the shine. Oh, well, I'm done with it because I broke all of it. It's done. Anyway, you'll fix it. I've got my hobbies. I do my things. They keep me grounded. They keep me happy. I run, and I'll just go on a run, and I'm gone for a while, and Brian's taking care of stuff at home. I play the guitar. I garden. I've got him camping now. I mean, and he supports everything that I do, but these are all things that really bring me an infinite amount of joy. And Brian has his own stuff. Lord knows he does. We all know all the stuff Brian's into. And I support everything that he does because that's him. That is him. And if he wasn't able to do those things and have that outlet, he wouldn't be the Brian that we all know and love. So, and that's part of what initially made me fall in love with him. You know, I saw how I'm going to piggyback off of Gwen. I'm about to take a page from your book. I love watching him step into his greatness and his brilliance. But that was part of when I first started dating him. I love the way he moved in space, and I loved his relationships with people and the way they felt about him. I loved his ex-wife. How crazy is that? She's an amazing person. Like, she's fantastic. And we've had this great relationship, and we have this great blended family. That's great. I've taken a lot of his own friends that I met through our relationship together, and they are now my good friends and not your friends anymore.
All my friends, every female friend I've had is no longer my fucking friend.
they're your friend too, but they're my girls. So anyway, it's just what happens. But if we break
up, I'm taking them back. By the way, I'm taking them back.
They're mine now. They're gonna be written up in the divorce. Anyway. So those are all things that I loved, and it would be if I limited him or tried to put restrictions. So I couldn't limit him, but if I tried to put restrictions on what he did and how he moved, then he wouldn't be the same person that I fell in love with. And that's something that over time I've had to realize a little bit more. You know, you gotta let Jimmy be Jimmy, to take a quote a Dreamgirls reference, but you know, you gotta let Brian be Brian, let B Foss be B Foss when he's gonna be B Foss, and just let that show happen, and everybody enjoys it, and then he's back to Brian, because it's mostly bullshit, but it's okay.
Hey, that's a lie. People, B Foss loves you. Don't listen to her.
And joys, you know, the joys that I really take to heart. We have a great time. We have fun. I think sometimes the daily, you know, trudging through life and dealing with like household drama and bills and kids stuff and everything that comes up can kind of make the waters murky and kind of muddy the waters, so to speak. But we have to get back to things that really bring joy, and that's traveling, that's going out, you know, to dinners and watching movies and listening to music and just having a good time together and laughing. And we do a good amount of that. So that's what I would have to say on that.
Oh, hey y'all, we are at time. I really, really, really enjoyed this conversation. You don't even understand how much I appreciate you all joining us and being frank and being honest and being open. I wanted to do this show like 2 months ago and couldn't get anybody to do it. So I'm glad you guys, were brave enough and bold enough to come out here and tell your truths and live in it. I love you guys as couples. When Gwen and you guys, when you guys come back to Chicago, Carl, we all need to hang out and have a couple of drinks and do our thing. Hope everybody's fully vaccinated. Get your vaccines. I'll put that out there. Another episode of In the Zone podcast is in the books. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Allison baby for being with me and doing this for me and with me. We will see you next week, where me and my guests will draft the best black actresses ever in Hollywood. I know y'all love the drafts. We're bringing it back next episode. Peace and love. Take care of you and yours. Until next time.
See, I don't need no alcohol.